Welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shelly, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. It's like that Beatles song, otherwise known as the Walrus, right? Well, it's a green on the screen day today, so you're going to see a big grin on my face. I know I'm not supposed to root on the markets, but I just can't help it, right? We like to see our farmers and ranchers do well, so let's take a look and see how well they might be doing today. How about this corn market? Look, it smells like we've got fund money in here. They added about 25,000 corn the funds bought last week, so maybe that helps explain this 11.25 cent rally in that Dees corn market, 579.5. We're about 2.5 cents off the highs. March is up 11.25 cents as well at 587.5. How about soybeans? Let's take a look at Chicago beans. What do they look like here today? They're up in sympathy. How about that? Novi's up 4 cents at 12.39 3/4. Jan beans are up 2 cents at 12.51.5. Here we go. This is where it starts to get good. Chicago wheat up 24.5 cents in the D's contract at 7.97 1/4. 2.5 cents off the highs, basically. March up 23.5 at 808.5. All right. Let's see what's going on in Kansas City. Do we have some similar gains there? We do. Boy, oh boy. 21.5 cents higher in that D's contract in Kansas City. 807 1/4. That's a couple cents off the highs. March is up 22.5 cents at 811.5. That's a penny off the highs in March. Here we go. Moving right along to the spring wheat in Minneapolis. Let's take a look at what's happening up there. 23.75 cents higher in that D's contract to 10.76. Boy, oh boy. March up 22.25 cents to 10.55 1/4. Who would have guessed it, right? And then last but not least, this one's also on fire. Cotton. Boy, oh boy, going up like a homesick angel. Here we go. 481 points better and at 119.66. But again, another 4-cent range in that cotton market. That's some going. All right, let's bring in Todd Horowitz from Bubba Trading. I believe Todd is in. Let me see by the backdrop. Vegas. He's got the Degas and the Monet behind him on the wall. All right, Todd. We've talked off air. We've talked a lot over the last few months. What are your thoughts here? What do you think is behind this decent rally we've got going on in the grains and oilseeds?
I think you nailed it perfectly, Scott. I think that there's a lot of fun money involved. You know, we broke some key levels in corn to the upside, which is going to draw that new money in. And of course, we need higher prices because oil keeps going higher. So we got to get higher prices because our inputs keep going up. But you know, fund money will chase yield, and of course, they're looking for places to go. The stock markets keep going up. Now they want some alternatives. And you know, one of the first choices for funds is to go into the grain markets because they do trend pretty well. And once they broke out both wheat and corn, you saw money flow in. I think that's going to continue, and that's what we're looking for. When I said I thought we'd have a good fourth into the first quarter this year.
It's one of the things I like about you. I mean, you covered all, but if you looked at, say, interest rate products, bonds, you know, their interest rates are record low or record high if you're talking bonds. Bonds are the record highs, equities on record highs. You know, we had some room to run in these grains. We were about 65 to 75%, you know, of our record highs. Now we've gotten a lot closer as of late. But that, you know, that goes to show you that there was some room for these things to run, and there is still probably some more. And I think that you're right. I mean, this inflation trade, these guys got it right the first quarter of this year. They smell like they're back again. And if these bills get passed through Congress, they're going to pour another $4 trillion onto this fire. What do you think?
I think it's a very ugly situation, and I'm praying that they don't get this passed. They're going to have to raise rates, Scott. And you know what that means? It means $75 billion a month for the United States to pay for debt service. But they're going to be forced to because its inflation is much bigger than anybody's forecasting or talking about. I would say we're at 15 to 20% inflation right now, and you can't hire anybody. You're going to have to raise wages again, which means the products of the stores are going higher because we're going to have the stores aren't going to eat the fees.
Right.
We're going to eat it, and that's going to be a problem. It's like another tax or taxation without representation.
Wow. We're going to go away, and we're going to digest what Todd just had to say there. We're going to pay some bills, come back and talk livestock with Todd Horowitz from Bubba Trading after this message. Welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shelby, otherwise known as the Cow Guy, and you can tell I'm hopped up because it's a good day to be talking about these markets because there has been some ugly days, and it's not a lot of fun. You go home kind of with your tail between your legs, but not today. We've got a lot happening here, and I am the Cow Guy, and that's a great cheap segue into talking about the live cattle market. Let's take a look at what's happening in our livestock markets, beginning with live cattle, the December contract. Look, we've got green on the screen here. but not a lot. You can tell it's a quiet day. We're up a dime in that D's contract at 129.37. Feb's up 50 cents at 134.72. We're not going to get too excited. We also are going to probably have a little bit of a lower feeder cattle market here because we do know that corn's higher. Feeder cattle will probably be lower, and that's the case. Nove's off 20 cents. That's not bad. 156.37. And the Jan feeder cattle is off $1.10 though at 155.02. And then lastly, let's take a look at lean hogs. They've been trying to rally. It's still a little bit of a mixed board. We'll call it okay. It's a better board. Deese is up 77 cents. That's 76.85, while Feb's up 50 cents. It's 79.17. All right, let's bring back in Todd Horowitz. He's in Las Vegas. He's with Bubba Trading. Todd, anything to say about the livestock there? Or I'll open the floor if you've got something else you want to talk about.
Well, I will comment on livestock. I do like the livestock. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, feeders would naturally be a little bit lower today because the cost of feed them's gone up. But I think overall, a slow day is good. We had a nice big rally on Friday. I think hogs are getting close to turning around and making a big run. And again, we have to get higher prices. It's almost a must, Scott, because of course, you and I talk about inflation all the time. But the input costs are getting so ridiculously high that we have to get higher prices. But you will also get fund money that will start to show up here as well. And I think you can see some pretty sustained higher prices for a while. I think we're and we've got room for a big run up.
Well, I mean, the picture you're painting to me is that either we're not going to have any food on the shelves, or if the food that's there is going to be cost what a gold bar would cost. I mean, that's not making me feel a lot, very good. But number two is that I still feel like this inflationary situation that we put ourselves into was 100% man-made. We had 0% interest rates for 13 years, Todd, and we didn't have any inflation. But after this pandemic, maybe after this pandemic and all the money we threw at people for sitting at home has caught something on fire. What do you think?
I think it's horrible, and I think that is going to be the bigger problem down the road, Scott. I think these jobs that people don't take because they're getting stimulus. I think these additional rounds of stimulus, 3 huge rounds of stimulus. What do we get? Nothing. It's like my kid went to Hawaii. He brought me back this lousy T-shirt. I mean, we cannot continue at this pace, and this is the backwards thinking of this administration. Even with the crude oil, we could be pumping our own and making money and with lower costs, but yet we don't care.
Well, Todd, I hope that I get a T-shirt someday too. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. That's Todd Horowitz from Bubba Trading. He's coming to us from Las Vegas. I'm Scott Shelty in Nashville. I'm going to throw this back over to Christina. I love saying that.